Everybody, welcome to the Sports Card Strategy Show. I'm Paul Hickey. I'm here with my co-host, Nathan Edward, the Great Murphinus.
Hello.
And we are presented by NoOffSeason.com, but we're brought to you by MarketMoversApp.com by Sports Card Investor, where you can go to save 20% on the best place to track the data of your collection, learn who to buy low, when to sell them high. And we also want you to check out VanitySlabs.com. Now you can use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, to save 20% on MarketMoversApp.com. And now, Murph, guess what? VanitySlabs.com gave us the promo code all lowercase, no off season, no more caps lock, no more any of that.
So, I'm telling you, honestly, kind of a weight off my shoulders. This whole caps lock, lowercase, uppercase, one F, two Fs, I don't know. Just give it to us the way we want.
I personally was laughing when you sort of called that out on the last week's show. But anyway, now you can go to any of the websites that we're partners with, MarketMoversApp.com, VanitySlabs.com, StarStock.com, and you use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, simple as that.
There is no reason to use the shift key. None.
No shift, no caps lock, no numbers, anything like that. No underscores, none of that BS. All right, so let's do a quick show rundown. We're going to talk today. I'm going to mention just quickly a few plays that I've made that I'm proud of, just to kind of inspire the listeners. And I'd like to talk about, it's mainly going to be an NBA show. You and I did a little prep offline this week. I've got the numbers pulled up, so I'm going to go player by player, and we're going to kind of talk about, do you buy the dip, right?
Okay.
So I'm going to say, do you buy the dip on? I'm going to throw the guy. I'm going to tee up the card price, and then you do your typical amazing job of kind of giving the analysis, right? And I'll give my take also. We do have one NFL player that we'll talk about, and then if you've got anything else from there, that'd be great. Okay, so but before we get into a couple of the plays that I've made recently, I want to give a shout out to J&J All-Star Sports Card Shows. I want you to try to go to jjallstarsportscards.com. They've got some upcoming card shows. Murph, I thought you would be interested in this, even though you used to live in Indianapolis. I know you're not there right now, but they've got a card show coming up next week, November 20th, 2021.
I'm going to miss it by like 2 days.
Oh, you're going to be in Indy. Oh, man.
I am.
Oh, that stinks. Well, December 18th, 2021, if you're going to be in Indy for that one, I'll hook you up with Jeff Mayrose. If any of you in the audience want to holler at me, I'd love to hook you up with Jeff. Seems like a great guy. He's the owner of J&J All-Star Sports Card Shows, and I'm going to post the entire rundown of upcoming show dates on nooffseason.com just to help Jeff out, but he's got shows in Indy and Kentucky. So if I were still in Nashville right now, I will be once again one day, and when I am, I'm going to be checking out these shows. So big shout out to Jeff. Again, go to jjallstarsportscards.com if you want to see the show dates. I'm going to throw them on nooffseason.com coming up on November 20th and December 18th. And there's a ton of there's a show every month, so it's great. All right. So a couple plays. Murph,
I know
you were
going on, Paul. I mean, what do you got going on this week? You always got something going on. I checked through some of your Instagram posts that you had. You got a lot of pretty quality material, quality cards that you got up for sale on eBay right now. I hope people are checking those out. But what are some of the things that you're pretty proud of?
Thanks, brother. Yeah, nooffseason.com/eBay. Check it out. Thanks for the plug there, Murph. Basically, a couple sales that I've made that were quick turns. 2 Tyrese Maxey rookie autos. One sold for $139. Buy it now. I paid, I think, maybe $73 for that card.
Great.
So that was a good flip. That was, again, just what we talk about.
Increase, pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we talk about a lot 80%. On the show is like player prospecting. You know, when you get the rookie auto, really all you need to do is hit on the player. You don't need to hit on a grade. You don't need to wait. You can get if you think there's a guy that's going to blow up or a girl, female, woman, like we talked about last, Becky Hammond. You just you can get the auto and you're going to see the more percentage ROI than if you just get the regular base card. So Tyrese,
that's a really good one. So Maxey, that's a great one. Nice little turn there. What else you got?
2 Tyrese Maxey cards. One went for $139 and one went for $110, both off of like $73, $74 sales.
There you go.
Miles Bridges, I didn't really get to talk about this last week because we were talking about the backup quarterbacks most of the show. Yeah. Miles Bridges, I bought a silver prism rookie of his last year or earlier this year, early in 2021. And then I think the card was $60, and then I got it graded for $30 at SGC, but I had to wait. So I bought the card in like March. I had to wait to get it graded in July because I wasn't in the United States until July, and then got a 10. And then when he was player of the week after the first week of the season, sold it for $350. So the Miles Bridges play was a big one. 90 in, $350 out.
Yeah, that's great. 200 plus. So well done. Any profit's a good profit. It's always good.
Yeah, well exactly. Done. I appreciate that. And on Sports Card Investor, you can see if you go to the Miles Bridges Silver Prism, it's my card that sold in. You can see it in the app. So it's nice to see when you actually make a sale. It's your data that's in the app for the world to see. So that was pretty cool.
You love data.
Gotta love data. I just sold, and then Anthony Edwards dropped 48 points this week, career high. I've got a lot of Ant Edwards cards. I'm a believer in him because I've watched him play, not live, but just on TV quite a bit. And I just think he's going to be one of the top 10 guys in the league at some point over the next 10 years. And
what's your Anthony Edwards card count?
Let's see. Well, I just sold 3 Donruss SGC 9.5s for a total of 125. So there's a little profit in that. Okay. As you know, the 9.5 doesn't sell nearly as high as the 10. I've got, I'm going to guess that I have 12 Ant Edwards cards. But the thing I love about my life is that I can go to PWCC, my vault, and I can search Edwards, and I can tell you within a matter of seconds that I actually have 24 Anthony Edwards cards. 3 of them just sold, so 21 remaining. But I've got, Anthony Edwards Silver, Anthony Edwards Prism SGC 9.5, Anthony Edwards SGC 10 hoops.
Now let me ask you this, Hicks. I think this would be interesting for somebody to know out there who's watching. Yeah. So you've got 21 cards currently, right? And you've got a player that you really like. You've sold a couple of them. You've sold 3 to this point. What is your sell-buy strategy on Anthony Edwards as the season goes? Because this could certainly be a breakout opportunity for him. The Timberwolves are not making the playoffs, okay? Like, I don't know how this team just continues to be blah year after year with strong talent. I think it had something to do with what's his name that was just a disaster out of Kansas. I can't even think of it right off the top of my head. Just a disaster, really. But they've got players there. I don't know. It's not a destination for free agents. People aren't going to go to play with Anthony Towns and Edwards. But what's your strategy throughout the 2021-22 season in terms of buying and selling a player like Anthony Edwards, who you think's a breakout, and that you think can be a top 10 player in the league by 2 seasons from now?
Great question. I have a strategy.
Yeah.
The strategy is because I spent a lot of last NBA season acquiring his cards.
Okay.
My strategy is to sell the 9s and 9.5s basically now because I have so many of them, and I really only have 3 10s, which is great because this allows
but why
me to
sell those, right? I mean,
right. That's right. So this allows me to basically like offload some of the risk by selling the lower grades, replenishing the bank account there, the investment into Edwards, selling the lower grades. And I have some raw still of his, so I might put all those into a lot and sell them all at once to maybe try to maximize that. And then the strategy is I'm going to keep the 10s. Right now I'm looking at 3 SGC 10s of Anthony Edwards. And that Prism 9.5, Prism is a higher end brand. Yep. So I'm keeping the higher grades and the higher end brands until later in the season, just simply because they don't look like they're going to make the playoffs, but if he drops,
they're not making the playoffs.
40 or more. So the risk is that he gets in. The really only risk is that he gets injured. If he stays healthy and drops 40 or more, even 30 or more, as we've seen with Maxey lately, these card prices will rise quite a bit. Okay. And then as soon as I see like a 20% spike, I'm selling it. I don't care who the player is. I see a 20% spike, I'm selling it. Now, in terms of the buying strategy, I'm only going to buy 2 things. I'm way out priced of the autos. I probably will not be able to afford an Anthony Edwards auto. So I will buy 10s. I'll buy PSA 10s. I'll buy SGC 10s. I'll buy BGS 9.5, which is the equivalent of a PSA 10. So
but if you do a season of selling 9s and 10s and things like that, then all of a sudden you could potentially be in the market for a auto. Correct? Yes. So it is about, okay, what's my Anthony Edwards goal? Do I want to accumulate, numbers, or do I want to accumulate grades? And in case maybe you really like this player, so you're like, well, I got 9s, I got 9.5.
Yep.
Potentially make 30% on each one of those that I do have, and then purchase an auto.
Yeah, absolutely. Trading up. Yeah. Trading up is a real thing. I haven't executed something that's been a large sort of trade up where, like you say, you sell to make money to buy the big one. But it's something I'd like to do. So yeah, absolutely. And I feel pretty good about my ability to predict players. Grayson Allen, I haven't sold a Grayson Allen card yet, but I bought a ton of Grayson Allen cards 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Really?
And the dude is looking pretty good. Knock on wood right now.
He's scrappy. And he's just that kind of guy that, man, it's like Danny Ainge, right? Of the late 80s, early 90s. You love him if he's on your team, but damn, do you hate that dude if he's not?
Yeah. And somehow in the highlight reel on NBA.com, they didn't mention that Grayson Allen was 7 for 10 from 3-point land the other night. Yeah. And he scored 21 points. I hope he keeps playing like that, because he's like a poor man's Tyler Hero in the hobby. And I'd rather spend less on Grayson Allen than spend all the money people are spending on Tyler Hero right now. But
I don't know. Wait for Allen to be a hero.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Murphinus. In terms of superstar, I'm calling this superstar buy the dip segment coming up here. All right. The first guy I've pulled up is James Harden.
Yeah.
I don't like James Harden at all. I told my son Max this the other day. We were walking home from baseball practice, and I'm just like, yeah, I just don't like him. I just think he's boring. I just think he is. I don't know. I'm just not a fan. Anyway, his PSA 10 tops base right now is down 44% in the last month. So there was hype, obviously, and the dude can play. Everyone's waiting for him to sort of get back to the James Harden once he adjusts to the rule changes this year. What's your take on but right now for his let me just clarify this before I ask you the question. So James Harden's tops base was going for $2,800 in PSA 10 about a month ago. Now it's going for $1,525. So if you just look at recent history, pattern recognition. If you know 15-25 is not chump change, but
Yep.
if the Nets, if you're a believer in Harden and the Nets, and they go to the finals and they're looking like they could potentially win the finals, that card that you bought for 15-25 on November, say 15th, could easily get back up to 2,800 by the end of the NBA season. Now, the tricky thing about Harden, though, is his other rookie, the Topps Chrome rookie of the same card, is actually up 100%. So, and his Panini Prestige rookie is up 32%. So not all, this is a good lesson in sports card buying, not all cards of the same player are going to have the same trajectory. But the Topps base James Harden is the opportunity there. What do you think about that?
I think when it comes to the dip in a James Harden is not so much what it was a month ago, but what was it like 6 months ago? If you're still above the 6 month or year long moving average of whatever this price is, I actually probably wouldn't even buy the dip yet. I don't think you're there yet. I don't think a player like James Harden, Garnett, I think I mentioned this last week or the week before, they're just not going to play hard right now. So there's a reason why some of these guys aren't, the rookies are playing hard, the guys trying to find their way in the NBA, the big sophomore leap or junior, third year leap sort of guys are playing really hard right now. The young teams where they're like, just play hard every night, we'll make the playoffs.
Yep.
The Nets are playing hard. They're not. And neither is James Harden and neither is Kevin Garnett. They play hard on Christmas Day moving forward.
Yeah.
So I don't think like these veterans, if the market shifts this quickly, there's another 15-20% dip in a James Harden between now and when these guys start to play hard, which is really Christmas Day. I mean, all these veterans say NBA season doesn't start till Christmas Day. So when they say that, it's just cruise control until then. Now, All-Star break, positioning, I think James Harden could certainly go down another 15-25% just because of how the NBA season plays out. But these rookies, these second-year guys, these Anthony Edwards that we already spoke about, they're playing hard from day one. Look at the famous Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Jabbar hits a shot in Magic's first game, a sky hook to win. Magic's freaking out like they just won the NBA Finals. And Jabbar's like, dude, young pup, this is game one, brother.
Yeah.
Chill. And that's, I think, a lot of what I think that's a really good story for how these veterans cards are cyclical early in the season.
That's a great story. And you're absolutely right. I'm glad you're bringing that perspective here for the audience. And thanks for the memory from Magic Johnson, Always Showtime. Easily my favorite thing to watch when I was a kid, when Irvin tells that story. And he's like, yeah, the cap's like, we got 81 more games. We got 81 more to go there.
More games to go. And that's exactly what James Harden and Kevin Garnett are talking to their young players about. Let those guys go and run up and go crazy. We'll give it about 75% until about January.
So another veteran, Chris Paul, his cards took a dip after the NBA Finals last year, and they've continued to dip slowly, but he's playing well. I mean, he's only on an 11% drop right now from about a month ago, according to Market Movers. But he's a guy that kind of gets forgotten about during the regular season by card collectors. So right now you can get Chris Paul's 2005 Topps base rookie for, I'd say, only $226. When you're looking at a guy who's now third all-time in assists, is that right? Third all-time in assists. And he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Easily one of the top point guards of all time. What do you think about Chris Paul's cards? Because really, unlike Harden, we're seeing about that same amount of dip on pretty much all of Chris Paul's rookie cards right now, about a 10 to 15% dip from about a month ago.
I think some of it goes back to what I just said before, about the early season. This is a team that, let's remember, had a very long year last year. I mean, they played into what was the NBA season end? Mid-July?
Yeah, it ended
like
way.
that.
You're
I mean,
right. It ended way
a
late.
long time.
Well,
I
it
mean,
ended in July, which it never does.
Yeah, right. So you're kind of now getting back to the normalities of the NBA season. Do I like Chris Paul? Yeah. Do I think that that team, he is surrounded by a bunch of fantastic young players? Yeah, I do. I think the same thing goes with James Harden. I would wait another 25%. You said he gets forgotten.
He
so
does.
My question, is he forgotten in terms of his downward trajectory in price?
Is he forgotten enough to buy him on the dip yet? I would say, to your point about Harden, no, I would wait.
No, I'd wait another 20% and then go and do it, because Chris Paul, he's getting, I don't know how old he is, 34, 35. He's not playing hard yet. He's doing
rookie
what he
in
needs
2005. So
yeah, I mean, he came out after a sophomore year at Wake Forest. So yeah, so he's 35, 36.
Probably 35, 36, yeah.
So he's not playing hard yet. So I would buy, and he's not going to until February, March. Even though the West is kind of loaded, I think he just kind of sits back, waits it out, tries to get a 3 seed, 2 seed, 1 seed potentially. I think there's 25% more to come.
Yeah, that could be interesting. Okay, well, I love that. So the next guy I'm actually really intrigued by, and this is one of the guys that kind of spurred this whole segment, Kawhi Leonard. So out of all Kawhi Leonard, he really only has 2 main rookie cards because he's a 2012 rookie. So kind of like Harden and Paul, there's not a whole, you don't have to go through like all these different rookie cards of Kawhi. Basically, Prism didn't come out until 2013. So his first real high-end card is actually not a rookie card. It's his second-year Prism card. But I'm looking at his 2012 true rookie card Hoops base that is down 15% in the last 30 days. And it's really affordable for anyone in the hobby. I would say if you want a Kawhi Leonard rookie PSA 10, you can get, the current price is $113.50. The Clippers look damn good, and if they ever get this dude back, they as much as I don't really love them as a fan, I mean, I think it'd be hard to. I think you plug him right back into that team, and they could be the front runner for the championship.
I think Kawhi's best days are behind him.
Okay.
I think his days of being kind of like the guy on a team. He's such an interesting guy. Like, you just don't know what the dude's thinking, right? I don't know. I think he needs to go someplace where he can kind of be, a partner with some young guys, some younger players. Not that I really think that maybe he's the best, influence on some of those guys, just from a, kind of his personality sort of thing. But that is a really affordable. I'm shocked when you said that. I mean, a PSA 10, $130 for Kawhi Leonard, a guy that's won 3 NBA championships, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty shocking.
The best player on 2 of those teams. 2 NBA championships. I think he won 1 with the Spurs, and then should have won
with the Raptors.
Should have won 2 with the Spurs. So I don't know. It's hard to, just like it's hard to read what the hell Kawhi's thinking, it's actually hard to even predict what his career trajectory is from this point out.
He actually.
I have a hard read, but $130 for I think
$113.
$113 for an NBA season MVP, and also the MVP of multiple NBA finals.
Yeah,
that's pretty good.
I stand corrected. He does have a 2012 Prism base rookie. In PSA 10, it's down. In PSA 10, it's down 15%, but that card in all grades is down a total of 30% also. So, I mean, if you're a believer in Kawhi and him coming back, if let's just say this, there's still an opportunity on Kawhi. His prices have not risen. They've dropped. Now, the guy, I'm going to segue to the next guy.
Hold on, Paul. I have one more question about Kawhi, because you may know a little bit more about me. Kawhi's history of coming back from injury quickly is not good. right? I mean, the Spurs, he basically stopped, when everyone kind of thought he could come back. I don't know this situation very intimately. I mean, is it fair to say that we don't have a timetable for his return? Is that fair to say that could extend all the way to March just because it's freaking Kawhi? And that we could be looking at another 20%, 30% dip on this. I don't know. What do you
possibly. He could continue to fall. There's still that opportunity. I think the timetable is like, I think he got injured in May. So I think it could be May that he comes back again. I think it's a year-long injury.
Yeah. So I wouldn't do anything. I wouldn't buy any Kawhi right now. Now, if you see a 10 and you're like, that's in my budget, I'm looking for Hall of Famers. I'm looking for guys that have won NBA, MVPs, things like that. Absolutely, because that's not a bad price. That's not a much skin in the game. And you are talking about someone who will go into the NBA Hall of Fame. Yeah. You are talking about a guy who will be attractable for people to get with him when it comes to contract years and things like that down the road. I wonder if there's still a little bit more dip out there.
Yeah,
just based
there could
on,
be
his history.
There could be. I think it's a safe investment. Even if he doesn't come back this year, he will. Like to your point, he is going to be one of the top guys and going to go into the Hall of Fame. So
yeah.
It should be worth more than $113.50.
Well, there
I feel
go.
bad for the person who sold it for that.
Better than me. You look at this and you say $113. Shoot, go buy one or two.
I like it.
If you're if you're a guy that wants to, accumulate assets like Kawhi Leonard.
Absolutely. Now, unfortunately, there's no longer a window to buy Klay Thompson. His card prices have risen about 10% or so, depending on the card, in the highest grades over the last month. And I think it's because we don't really know when he's coming back. It's been like 2 years. I think the whole card market is like, okay, it's about time for him to come back. Golden State is ridiculously on fire even without him. So I think there's some built-in anticipation into Klay Thompson's prices. But I mean, just to give you an idea, his Prism 2012 base rookie in PSA 10 was $165. Was $765 a month ago. It's $820 now. So I think unless you really want a Klay Thompson card and you're willing to pay for it, great. You're probably going to be fine, but you're probably not going to have an opportunity like you would with Kawhi, where you could maybe make some money off of it in the shorter term.
Like Klay Thompson. So if you like Klay Thompson and you got $825, go get it.
Yeah.
Because the Warriors are good, and they're going to play a lot of basketball in June.
And they're going to try to make him and Steph last for as many years as possible. You can tell that Steve Kerr and that whole staff is trying, and even the team, the players, are like consciously trying to build a situation where they can get as much life from those two guys for as long as possible. So that'll be pretty fun to see. Oh, absolutely. It's just, but how often do you get in professional sports where everyone's on the same page with that? It's few and far between where everybody wants the same thing for everybody else. And it's just cool to see that happening in Golden State. So,
you got a few adults in the room in Golden State.
Yeah, exactly. It's great. Okay. This next card I'm intrigued by. We all have concerns with Zion Williamson. We all know what they are.
This is the perfect place for me to end. This is my last segment.
Okay, perfect. So I'll let you comment on this card, and then we can say goodbye to you until next week. So, all right, Zion's PSA 10 Optic rated rookie is down 22% over the last month. And it was down quite a bit even before that. The starting price 30 days ago was $130. The current price for a PSA 10 is $95. And I just wonder, is this the opportunity to go buy like 5 of those? And then does he come back and through some miracle stay healthy and that thing goes to like $300, $400? Because it definitely could if he plays well and stays healthy.
I think that if you're looking to make a Zion flip move, I think now, yes, is 100% the time. I've never been a big Zion fan. Never. He just reminded me of, he looked like a guy who could significantly put on. I mean, I told you this. I said, I'm not a big Zion guy. I was Morant all the way. Like, this is the guy. This is the excitement, the next point guard, run a team, distribute, make others better, create his own shot, create highlights. You could do a top 10 list of just Ja Morant's games on ESPN. I'm not a Zion guy at all. The fact that his prices are going down while his weight is going up the same amount is exactly what was going to happen 3 years ago. Was not a Zion fan. I don't think he is someone who, he's going to get a massive next contract. He's going to get out of New Orleans. He's going to partner up with blah, 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 blah. And his cards are going to go up. They will. But do not look to have Zion Williamson cards for the long term beyond these like 30% dips, 200% increases. Play that game with this guy. I'm sorry. I'm not hey, this dude's a Hall of Famer. This guy's the best player on a team, because he's not. He's the best player on his current team, but he will not be the best player on his next team.
You heard it here first, folks.
I mean, so far, so good on my prediction between Ja Morant, Zion Williamson 2.5 years ago.
That's why I recruited you to do a show with me, Murph. I mean, that is why. So you were right about it.
But I like that dip. I mean, the fact that you say he's down 22%, maybe there's another 10% in there. Do I think that he comes back, he starts playing as the best player on that team? Could it rise 250? Absolutely. Play that game with this guy. But this is not the dude that you collect like Anthony Edwards and you keep your 10s and you keep them for 4 years and you wait for Minnesota to be good, or you wait for Edwards to go on a great team where he's still the best player. Zion's not that guy. But you play those cyclical dips with that guy because he's exciting, kids love him, collectors love him, but long term, nope, he's not the guy.
Thanks as always. You're the man. We're going to keep rolling, but
I'm going to shift one thing over, and you maybe hit this in part of the NFL segment. A guy that we have talked about a fair amount, Van Jefferson, just got a little bit of a situation going on there with Beckham over there in LA. Here's my thought: Odell is still Odell. He doesn't get along with any team that he plays on. It will be no different in LA with McVay, with Stafford. Have a couple of good games. All of a sudden, he'll be ticked off. Don't lose sight of Van Jefferson quite yet. Beckham is a short-term, let's see what we can get out of him. Don't lose faith, but potentially buy the dip.
Yeah, that's what I was just going to say, Murph. Do we buy more Van Jeffersons right now? That could be the play.
That could be the play. I think if you get a chance to go and take a look at market movers a little bit, Paul, later on in the show, take a look and see, has there been anything that's happened in that? The next 2 weeks are going to tell a story, because here's what you know is going to happen. Beckham's going to go, Odell's going to go out. They're going to try to get him the ball this week. They're going to try to get him the ball next week. But then they're going to get into the normal flow of their offense. And so keep an eye out for Jefferson. It's going to be a cheap buy. Okay, you can probably buy some assets with very little money, and then 2 years down the road, I just think you'll be happy.
I mean, Van Jefferson, I'm on StarStock right now. Use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, get a free $10. Van Jefferson cards are StarStock A's about $1. So maybe
go buy 20, buy 10.
Just get your free $10. I mean, here's a select StarStock A. There's 31 of them for sale for 48 cents. Go use the promo code NOOFFSEASON right now at StarStock. Get a free $10 and buy as many Van Jefferson cards as you possibly can.
There's worse ways to spend $10.
I agree. You mean like
All
on
right.
Josh Rosen cards?
Yep. That would be one of them.
All right. Later, Murph.
All right.
Okay, everybody. So speaking of a cyclical nature to the cards, getting back to the NBA, Luka Doncic is another potential buy the dip guy. His Prism base PSA 10s, we all know we're going for about $2,000 a year ago. A month ago, they were down to $784, and their current price, according to marketmoversapp.com, is $636.67. So they're down 20% in the last 30 days. I think we know why. There's a lot of supply of this card, but the demand for Luka cards is always going to be there. The dude looks like he's going to be one of the best players in the league for, I don't know, the next 10 to potentially 15 years. And so I think it could be a time to go splurge on some Luka rookie Prism PSA 10s. That's my call. Another guy, Trae Young. Trae Young's cards are down. The Hawks are not off to a great start. There's some concerns, but Trae, there's no concern with me with Trae. His Prism base card is down 18%. His Donruss base is down 9%. His Hoops base is down 8% from a rookie card standpoint. And so I like all of those as potential buy nows for Trae. Okay, Murph mentioned Van Jefferson a minute ago, and now let's move into some football. Patrick Mahomes has a couple cards that I am intrigued by. The Chiefs are off to a rocky 2021 NFL season, but they're still the Chiefs, and this guy is still Patrick Mahomes. Now, he's been way out of my price range, but now his rated rookies, Donruss and Optic, are both down 15% for about the first time that I've ever seen since I got back into the hobby. And so this is no small amount of money, but given the fact that they've been going for over $1,000 consistently, and now they're only going for $700, no injury, no concern. He's still Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs just aren't having as good of a season. His cards being down 35% in PSA 10 tells me that it could be time, if you've had some money and you've wanted to invest it into a stud, but you don't want to pay ridiculous premiums, now could be the time to go get a Patrick Mahomes. I'm looking at his Donruss rated rookie for $716 right now. A month ago, it was $1,100. And then from an Optic standpoint, in PSA 10, it was $1,600 a month ago, and now it's down to $1,200 today. So Patrick Mahomes, another stud, could be time to buy low. All right, so in our last segment of the day, I wanted to talk about three guys that are the juniors in the NBA. Now, there's actually a lot of juniors in the NBA, which is something that is kind of fun for me. You've got Tim Hardaway Jr. I watched his dad play. His dad was one of my favorite players when I was a kid. But you've also got three other guys. Gary Trent Jr., who's lighting it up in Toronto on a fun Toronto Raptors team. His PSA 10, I'm shocked by this. His PSA 10 optics are going for $15 and $10 each. The last two sales, according to marketmoversapp.com, $15 and $10. Before that, you had a sale of $51. And so he is down 38%, even though he's playing really, really well in Toronto for an exciting young Raptors team. I think Gary Trent Jr. is somebody that you should keep an eye on. He's averaging 15.5 points per game, 3.3 rebounds. And I just kind of like him. So I think that he could stick in the league, and I think he could be a good short-term flip opportunity given the fact that his cards are so affordable right now. All right, the next guy is Gary Payton II. Gary Payton Jr., but he's actually Gary Payton II. He's on an awesome Golden State Warriors team. And if you've watched any of the highlights or full games of the Warriors recently, you know what I'm talking about. The dude can jump out of the gym. They call him the young glove. So he's great on defense, makes things happen on the fast break. the thing is, he's already 28 years old. He went undrafted, so he didn't have a lot of hype around him. There's just now getting some hype, but it could be an opportunity to buy him because he's so efficient when he gets on the court. And if the Warriors are the finals team that they look like right now, Gary Payton will be a part of that, and he will be on the SportsCenter top 10 in June for sure. So if you want a Gary Payton, the second card, they're kind of hard to find anywhere other than StarStock. So I would recommend going to starstock.com, use the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase, get a free $10 for doing that. And you could go buy a Gary Payton the second Don Russ StarStock A for $9.99 right now, or you could buy a green Prism StarStock B for $8. You could buy a Prism StarStock A base for $15. So they're all super affordable, or you can make an offer. Like the latest sale was only $7.50. $7.50. So you could make an offer for $8 and see if the seller will let you take that off their hands. All right, the third guy now this is my guy, Kenyon Martin Jr., also known as KJ Martin. You can get his Prism StarStock A for $1 right now. You can get his Select StarStock A for 44 cents. You can get his Select Concourse Blue variation StarStock A for 98 cents. In fact, I think one of you in the audience out there used the promo code NOOFFSEASON, so I actually got also a free $10 after last week's show. So I might use my $10 on some KJ Martin cards. He's not getting a whole lot of playing time right now, but he's gotten more and more minutes, slowly but surely. He produced really well in his rookie year last year. I know the Rockets are horrible, but this guy, anytime he's on the court, he makes something happen. He's one of the most efficient players that I've ever watched or followed. And so I'm real high on Kenyon Martin Jr., KJ Martin. So the seconds, the juniors, Gary Trent, Kenyon Martin, Gary Payton, I think you should buy their cards. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching and listening to the Sports Card Strategy Show. I'm Paul Hickey with NoOffSeason.com. I'd like to thank a few other websites right now. One is one of our sponsors, MarketMoversApp.com. Save 20% at MarketMoversApp.com by using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase. Thanks to StarStock for dropping the promo code NOOFFSEASON. You can get a free $10 there if you use promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase. And then our friends at Vanity Slab, they've got some really cool products, which we will talk about on a future show. You can save 10% there using the promo code NOOFFSEASON, all lowercase. And again, check out J&J All-Star Sports Card shows at jjallstarsportscards.com. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning in. I'm Paul Hickey with NoOffSeason.com. I'm happy collecting. I want you to be too. Thanks and have a great day.